What is up, guys? I'm back here again with another one. In this video, I'll be sharing a strategy on how to make profits from higher time frame lows and highs. I've also included a live trade that I took using this very effective strategy. Sit back, relax, and enjoy. Please note, any information herein is not intended, nor does it constitute financial, tax, legal, investment, or any other advice. Essentially, what you'll notice is that on higher time frames, by higher time frames, I mean your H12, your daily or your weekly time frame, the lows and highs are usually respected. Okay. And so this is where the strategy comes in. I'm going to make an example of daily lows for the purposes of this video. Okay. So for instance, if you have a daily low over here, right, this whole area is a low point. Why is it a low? Because in the past, the market bought from there. And what you have is essentially the market coming back to that low point. Okay. What you want to do is to really concentrate at that low point, right? And so you want to draw up a zone showing that this is an area that is that is basically of interest to you because you want to take advantage of what could possibly happen. So at this daily low, what you will notice is that there was buy momentum, and there might be remnants of that buy momentum. And so what you want to do is to wait for the market to start showing signs that, at least the zone is reactive and we're getting some upside momentum. And this then is where you can take advantage, right? Because usually, even if the market wants to breach this daily low, it'll do so after it has actually given you a little bit like that and then finally breach, okay? And in most times, it actually won't breach and the market will push to the upside. So what you want to do is to benefit from the buying momentum that is simply sitting here for a movement that is probably somewhere around up to somewhere around here. But because it's a daily time frame or a weekly time frame, or should I say a higher time frame low, a trade from somewhere around here to here could actually mean a lot of money, right? So essentially, for you to be able to get that trade, you need to understand just the intricacies of that zone, okay? So obviously in the past, you also have an opposing move like that, okay? That would have essentially the market coming into that specific zone as well. So what you need to do is to shade this opposing move, and you get what we call past floors within this opposing move. These past floors are going to assist you in terms of placing an entry here. So let's talk about it and actually use a practical live example over here. Okay. All right. So I'm on the daily time frame. I'm just picking a random low over here. And what you'll notice is this was a low simply because in the past the market came there and it bought, right? And the market was generous enough to come back in there. And most importantly, remember the blueprint. You want the market to start showing you signs of buying momentum. So obviously, when the market is starting to do this, you're not just sitting down, you're actually getting excited because you're seeing that the buying momentum is starting to kick in. And your ultimate dream is to catch an entry from somewhere in and around here. And you don't even have to hold the trade all the way to up there for all those days. A trade from somewhere in and around here till there is actually good money. Remember, this is on the daily time frame. Okay. So once you have that buying momentum coming in, what you want to do is to mark the opposing move, okay? And that would be all the way here. Remember, as per my illustration, this was the movement, okay, of the market coming into that area that we're calling a daily low from the past, okay? So you mark this while you're still on this higher time frame, and you're going to start scaling down, looking for past floors within here, okay? So now the procedure would be you're scaling down. Let's quickly go to the H4 time frame, and we want to spot the past floors within what I've called an opposing move, okay? All right, so this is a past floor over here. Why? We got here, we failed to break, then we finally broke. That constitutes as a past floor, okay? Similarly over here, we also have a past floor. Why? We got here, failed to break, then we finally broke. Now, when you get past floors that are so close to one another, it's just better for you to just mark it all as one floor, okay? So I'll just consider all of this one floor simply because they're in close proximity to one another, okay? And then I would scale down again. I'm trying to look for more past floors on the H3. There's nothing. On the H2, I do see something, right? This is a past floor over here, okay? Why? Because we got here, we failed to break, then we finally broke. Now, the importance of these past floors, they'll help you to take advantage of the momentum coming from your daily low, okay? So we have our past floors locked in. Let's go back quickly to the daily time frame so that you see exactly what I'm talking about. I have my past floors locked in. The buying momentum is starting to kick in. I'm obviously going to be looking for entries on the lower time frame. So for instance, if I go to the H2, right, and I have my past floors in that I've essentially drawn up, these areas become areas for TP, for take profit levels, and areas that I need to take note of so that I don't place a trade there in the direction of my bias. Okay. So what you notice is as the market pushes up, right, it will struggle at these past floors. And you can take advantage of that simply by drawing up channels, okay, before the market reaches those past floors, okay? And what you're doing is you're using the demand coming out of this zone and you're trying to get in and get out when it matters the most. So being on the H2 time frame, the market came into my zone and no channel had printed, but over here you can see that the market started channeling to the upside. So you can actually draw up your channel nicely, get as many hits as possible like this, okay? And what you want to do is get the bottom of the channel there, and you also have the top of the channel. Now notice, right? As we push to the upside, we are channeling, right? We touched this pass floor, right? And it also happens to be the top of the channel. I wouldn't place a trade. But notice what happened. We retraced and we started respecting the channel and we started pushing to the upside. So now this for me would constitute an entry. And what I would want to do is to preferably take profits at the next next past floor, which would be this one over here. So we are clearly respecting my channel. We tap into here, no buys. We come back to the bottom of the channel, okay? And we're seeing some buying momentum. I would buy this, right? And I would actually look to take profit at the next past floor. What you'll notice is that once we reach those past floors, the market struggles to continue to the upside. So what you're doing essentially is you're using the buying demand, the buying momentum from your demand zone, and you're trying to get an entry in an area where it matters so that you can get out as well, where it would be really beneficial for you to do so, okay? So another example is before we even touched this whole pass floor, the market was channeling once again, and one could have actually maybe placed an entry and aimed to get out at that pass floor, okay? Simply because obviously, like I said, there's usually retracements once we interact with the pass floor, because there's supply sitting here. Remember, the reason why this is a pass floor is that when the market was pushing down, we were failing to break this level, and then we finally broke. And for us to finally break, there would need to be an excess of supply there in comparison to the demand. So now that we're pushing up, there's usually some remnants of supply there, and so the market then pushes down. But remember, we're also coming from a strong demand zone, and when it pushes down from this pass floor, it's going to look for adequate enough demand for the market to continue to the upside. Okay, so I'll now show you a live trade that I took with this very same strategy. Very simple. All you have to do is wait at these higher time frame lows and highs, understand what's going on, take advantage of the momentum, draw up channels if you need be. Most importantly, draw up your opposing move properly and your past floors and ceiling, depending on if it's a buy move or a sell move, and you catch spectacular trades. Hey. Hi guys, I'm here with a live entry on V100. So I just want to talk to you about what I'm seeing currently on V100. So if you go to the weekly time frame, which is what I'm on right now, you will notice that the market is somewhat buying from lows. Okay, so what do I mean by that? Essentially, we have a weekly low over here, all right? And the market essentially came in there last week and tried to buy, and I'm seeing some buying momentum coming through. Okay, so I've placed this orange line here because it is a past floor that when the market came into the zone, what happened was we failed to close below that. Okay, so I'm willing to take trades, buy trades on this till another past floor that I could possibly see from this odd opposing move. Okay, so what I'm doing here is I'm shading this area and I want to scale it down, and I'll be looking to see any past floors that are there. Okay, so right now there's this past floor here, and what we have is ever since we came in and we failed to close below this orange past floor, we've been pushing to the upside. And as you can clearly see, this is that, and the next one would be here. Okay, so now that that's the case, I'm now focusing on this buy wave. And what I'd essentially want to do is to obviously get an entry and then get out at this past floor, right? So I'm going to scale down just to be able to see if there's anything that I might be missing in terms of minor past floors that could help with the entry. And I pinpointed this past floor with this red line here. And what has happened is within our current buy wave, we broke above that past floor, failed to close above. And now what's happening is we are channeling and we're actually buying. Okay, this could serve as an order block, and we are buying from there. Okay, and so what I've done is I've cleverly placed my stop loss below that past floor, that minor past floor, which is this red line, and my TP now goes there. Okay, so obviously it's all about waiting now. I have my entry in, my stops are all in, and another thing that I'm seeing is that the market is moving in this form of a channel. all of these would be false breakouts. And you'll notice the false breakouts tend to go to those past floors that we pinpointed, okay? Now, this is a $294 account. And as I mentioned, I'll be willing to take profits when we get to all the way there. Okay, so right now I'm currently in a drawdown of $23. But not to worry. Obviously, drawdown is part of the game. If you have placed your stop loss, you let things roll out. So I'll be back with an update on how everything will play out. Hey guys, so I'm back and my trade is now on $600. So that $294 account has pushed up and we are essentially on 606 and we are approaching that level that I discussed in the previous video, which would be this past floor. So this trade did take some time, but everything is all about the patience. And, you just really have to lock in and be patient. There were moments where it actually got into drawdown, right? There was some drawdown involved. If I'm to just head over to the lower time frames, you will notice that my entry was actually somewhere around here. And so the drawdown was this, but you see where I had put my stop loss. I knew that the market would not get there because it was protected by other past floors. Okay, so there you have it, guys. This is a very powerful strategy that requires chart time and back testing. If you like what you see, feel free to contact me. You can find my contact details in the description of this video. Be sure to follow me on my Instagram, where I share insights and we can basically keep in touch on a regular basis. Please note, I am not on TikTok and don't engage with anyone pretending to be me on there. Until next time, ciao.